I'm coming to you, Brother JT. It's not often that I actually make a video response to the videos that you have actually placed up and put up for yourself, trying to help other people out with understanding, to help them with the knowledge of truth and the knowledge of salvation. But I just got finished looking at your video series about stocking up and storing up, and so I just thought I'd come in and add a set-apart pastor's perspective into this account right here, and give knowledge and wisdom of the scripture, because you did so good at covering all the bases. So I want to say something here to try to maybe give the people a little bit further to go in this understanding right here, because I know that the churches out there are so jacked up that they're not teaching the people anything. And I know that we have had a system of religion presented to us that has tried to make us believe that it is the actual faith, when it's a religion that is not even written about in this book right here we call the Bible. But, you know, many times churches have persuaded the people to stay away from certain subjects, and they tout and use the word legalism. And of course, when you're using terms that people are not familiar with, you know, usually these statements, these words are used in a negative and derogatory way to keep people from doing the things that they should be doing from the very beginning anyway. Back here, I got a new poster up right here, and it says, look what it says, commandment keeper. 99% of the people who actually attend what you call any type of flavor of Christian church don't even keep the commandments. And to prove that point, go to the 4th commandment and read what it says over in Exodus chapter 20, verses 8 through 11. It talks about the Sabbath day. It doesn't talk about Sunday. And nowhere in this book does it show us that his 4th commandment was repealed and changed. As I was saying, you know, before my Bible actually hit the keyboard and disconnected the video, you know, the 99% of the people in America assume that they keep the commandments. Even the pastors, the preachers and teachers out there are not teaching the people to keep the commandments. I mean, you grow up in a religion and the faith of Christianity, you have to understand that Christians see things differently, and they're taught things differently than those of us who are in the faith of the Hebrew Israelites, which Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, David, Jesus, Peter, and Paul, they all were. They were descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. But the question is should we store up and should we stock up, or shouldn't we store up, or shouldn't we stock up? Which one is it? And of course, it's always coupled to faith. Let me give you the scriptural reference of what faith is. Now, just like JT had quoted, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And also, faith in itself, without works, it is dead. That part right there, you hardly ever hear quoted. Now, if we go to the faith chapter, and that is Hebrews 11 chapter, we will always see that faith is always accompanied with something. For instance, you read the entire chapter of Hebrews 11, it talks about Abraham, it talks about Noah, it talks about the faith of many of the patriarchs, and I'm sitting here reading it right now. It talks about Isaac, it talks about the faith of Moses, it talks about Jericho, it talks about Rahab. Rahab the harlot was included in the faith chapter. And every single one of these equated faith with action. Whereas in this Christian perspective of the way that we have been trained to view things, we view it from an abstract viewpoint. To us, the way we have been trained here in Christian America is that if we think it, if we believe it, then we equate that to faith. But according to Eastern Hebraic thought, faith is always coupled with action. After all, listen to what one of the apostles say. As I go over here to James, the 2nd chapter, start at verse 17. It says, even so faith, if it have not works, is dead, being alone. See, if you just have faith and you just put mental assent with it, that's not a work. That's not enough. He says that kind of faith, it is dead. because it's all by itself. There's no substance. There's no action to it. This is a working type faith right here. Look what it says right here. Yea, a man may say that thou hast faith and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works. So you got a lot of Christians out there that show faith by mental assent, words, nothing coupled behind it, no action behind it whatsoever at all. But James says right here, and I will show thee my faith by my works. So you see the difference in the Hebraic thought as opposed to the American abstract thought. Thou believest that there's one God? Thou doest well. The devils also believe and tremble. But what? But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? So when we go and we talk about the story of Joseph, remember he had a dream, he had a vision, he understood what was getting ready to come down the pipe. So he prepared. Not only he prepared Pharaoh's house, and in his righteousness, in his works of preparing, he actually was able to provide for his family. Now you think about this. We live in a country, live in a society that they don't believe in holiness. They don't believe in righteousness. They don't keep the commandment. They're not a commandment keeper. They don't keep the commandments of the Father. They make their own set of rules. They make their own holidays. They make their own holy days. They do whatever they want to do. And they expect, watch this now, this holy, pure, clean, most high Yah, the Elohim, the creator of the universe, to part the Red Sea, just like he did for the ancient Israelites, and there ain't no Moses that they're around. They expect the walls of Jericho to come down just because they give mental assent. And we're not living any holiness. We're not being holy. We're surely not looking holy. And we're not what you call a holy people in this generation. We don't live a set apart life. Our life is not consecrated to the Most High Yah. We don't pray, we don't fast, we don't study, we don't read our word, and I'll go back to it again. We don't keep his commandments, because Ecclesiastes 12:13 says, for let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yah and keep his commandments. It's the whole duty of man. Jesus said in John 14:15, if you love me, then you will keep my commandments. The writer of 1 John says, he that says that he know me, and yet he does not keep my commandments, he is a liar, and the truth is not in him. So the majority of people who have this mental assent, this mental equation of what they call faith, is actually not in the faith whatsoever at all. And so if your faith, if you are able to see what's getting ready to take place, if you hear and you ignore the warning, and you see all these things, and yet you're not preparing your house, will faith save you? Well, the answer is no. Not just a mental assent faith, but a faith according to Hebraic thought that always equates faith with action that will save you, because you know why? You were obedient to the Spirit that actually gave you direction. Remember, the angel of the Most High is encamped around about them that fear him. And let's go back to it again. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yah, keep his commandments. It's the whole duty of man. We have this abstract mental assent viewpoint here in so-called quote-unquote Christian America, that faith is nothing more than just a thought, and there are no works. And that's the reason why people continually keep juggling conceptions, because they really don't know what faith is. But yet when you go to Hebrews, the 11th chapter, you will see Abraham had works with his faith, because that is the Hebraic Eastern thought. That's how our Eastern ancient ancestors thought. When you go look at Noah, there was work. Can Noah just say, okay, I believe that the Most High has come. I believe that the rain is going to come down, and yet not build an ark? No, his faith showed you that he believed. Abraham's faith showed you when he went out looking for a city. He showed you. Rahab's faith showed you that she believed when she prepared the way for the messengers. And she was received. And not only that, because of her actions, she was equated into the chapter. So when we're dealing with Christian apologetics, people who use play on words to strip faith away from you by saying, hey, you're legalist, that you're legalism, you're into legalism and stuff. All this is just an attack of the enemy to get you to not take proper faith, which is proper action. So faith without works is dead. And the majority of the Christian faith religion is dead faith, because it does not produce any works. Sure, I know, not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his mercy, he saved us. That's right. It was all according to what he done. But after conversion, after we get saved and stuff that pertains to salvation, we better work out our salvation. And we better do it with fear and with trembling. That's what the book says. And so what we need is proper order, proper perspective. And the reason why the people can't understand this type of faith today is because they're taught another religion. So coming from a set apart Hebrew teacher, Pastor Dow, Jeremiah 3:15, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Today, people don't really truly have pastors. They really truly don't have pastors out there. What they have is they have people who take their money, who have people who put on a show for them and stuff, but they really truly are not watching for the souls of y'all's people. Very good video, very timely video, and thank you for the opportunity, Brother JT, for allowing me to come in here and add what I would say, as the rest of the world would say, my 2 cents worth. And before I let you go, I'm so sorry, but let me add this in here. I think it would be good if I would read it, because I know a lot of people are just simply not going to go back and actually read, become proactive and read Hebrews 11 chapter. But I wanted to read what it says in Hebrews 11 verse 7. It says, by faith Noah, being warned of Yah of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by which he condemned the world and became heirs of the righteousness which is by faith. So yes, you should store food. Yes, you should prepare yourself. And yes, you get some guns, you get some ammo, you do anything, whatever it takes, by any means necessary to preserve and to protect you and your house. Move with fear and prepare. That is what real, true faith is. You have it right there in the book. You're not going to find the faith that these Christians speak in this book, because this is a Hebraic book. The history of this book of the Hebrews span some 4,000 years. The history of the Greek influence on this book right here only spans 99 years. I hope that I've been able to help you some way, somehow. Hallelujah. Shalom.